Really quick before I let the video start, it's on videos like these that likes mean a lot to me. I'm dealing with a YouTuber that has a pretty strong fan base, and whose community will come over to this video and press dislike no matter what I say in this video. So even if you usually don't leave likes on videos, if you could really just please leave one now, it would help me out a lot. Okay, we got some drama to go over today, so we're gonna do this now. This is a super long video that was made on me. This is 43 minutes and 15 seconds dissecting a YouTube reactionary. This is a video by Noah Samson, the guy who I made a video on 2 or 3 weeks ago called Pathetic Male Feminist Tries to Own Me on Twitter. Now, throughout this video on me, he makes some good points, but he also makes, I think, a lot of bad points that I want to refute. So I'm gonna go over the good points first because I think that he actually had me on a couple things. In this new video, he argues that in my reaction to him, I cut him off before he's able to make an entire point, and that if I didn't cut him off, I would be able to better understand his arguments and then refute his argument. So that's a fair criticism, and if I ever make a video on somebody like him in the future while they're making points, I'll try not to cut them off. I do have kind of a thing for not letting the video I'm reacting to run on for too long because I really don't like Twitch streamers who will just sit there and react to videos, you know, completely uncut with no commentary, right? So I actively try to keep my videos more about me talking rather than the video that I'm reacting to. But yeah, sure, when I react to your videos in the future, if I do, I will not pause them while you are trying to make a point. The second good point that he makes is in my video about him, I said that I think it's pathetic the way he lives his life.
But the thing I want to touch on is the last thing he says here about the way I live my life.
No, bro, the worst is the way you live your life, my dude.
So my question is, how do I live my life, Acheeto? How could you know anything about the way that I live my life? His sense of superiority there was derived from the fact that he went to the gym that day and I didn't, but how would he know that?
I should have been more specific because obviously I have no clue how this guy lives 90% of his life, so for me to just say that is like, I don't know what the guy does. I was kind of just like going off of his internet presence because like my experience with this guy is, you know, he shit on me on Twitter saying like, fat phobia comedy is not funny and it's bad and harmful. Like, I think that that's fucking cringe. So I probably just should have said like, oh, I think it's pathetic the way that you exist online rather than like the way you live your life, because that just kind of is like, I don't know, because I don't know how he lives his life. I don't know, I feel like the reason I was so inclined to say the way you live your life is because like his entire YouTube channel is, you know, he's got his entire face cam, it's his like full name, and his entire internet presence feels very personal. Like it feels like it's a big part of his life. So I just felt inclined to say it's pathetic the way you live your life, just because like, I don't know, it felt like the internet was his life. But it's true, I don't know how he lives his life, so I shouldn't have said that.
This is me on July 15th of this year, days before this Twitter interaction, when he felt the need to comment on my weight because I wasn't at the gym or whatever. I probably was.
I mean, there's no way you were at the gym on the Twitter app on your phone, like shitting on me, right? Maybe you went before you shit on me on Twitter, bro, I don't fucking know. But yeah, man, like good for you for going to the gym. I see you're lifting now, like that's dope. I gotta get back to the gym. I took a week off because I was sick, like really sick, like I said. What I don't get though about Noah Samson is if he does go to the gym and he understands the importance of it, because like if you go, you kind of get why you're going, then how does he fall into the herd of people that are like, oh, fat phobia is evil? Like I've never ever met somebody who goes to the gym, and I know this is personal experience, so you know, take it how you will, but I have never seen anybody go to the gym who is like, dude, fat phobic comedy is awful. Like look what they're saying. Look at all the jokes they're telling. Like how can you think fat phobia is this pressing issue, but then go to the gym? This is the one person, like I'm actually being serious, the one person I've seen both in real life and on the internet who talks about fat phobia the way he does, but still goes to the gym. Like credit where credit is due, I'm fucking surprised. But the videos where you critique fat phobic comedy, bro, they're just not, like they're very bad. Anyways, that's all the good points I think he makes in this video, a total of 2. Maybe there's like 3, but I don't know, man. He also made another good point, which is when I read his titles in my video, I didn't really explain why they were bad or why I had a problem with it. I just kind of read them and assumed that you guys understood what was wrong with them.
While you're introducing someone that you're criticizing, you might list off their video titles with some music behind it or something, under the impression that your audience will pick up on what's wrong here, based on how you normally talk about these issues. So he knows that based on how he's criticized feminism and anti-straight prejudice in his prior videos, his audience will likely pick up on the fact that the person he's introducing is a little bit weird. A bit of a weird guy. And I've actually done this before in my own content. Here's a clip from a video of mine called Incel Content is Dangerous.
Are you sub 5, normie, or Chad? How to know when it's truly over. Why the black pill is so underrated in 2021. 4 in-depth reasons. 100 black pill beliefs in one video. Warning, the gap between normies and Chads is growing.
Oh, they even have a 4-part series analyzing the mathematically, scientifically, objectively perfect male face. It's a similar thing, right? Listing off this channel's titles and thumbnails in a dramatic voice with intense music. This is done under the assumption that you, the Noah Samson channel viewer, will notice that having skull-shaped measurements in your thumbnails or incel terminology in your titles means that you might be a slightly strange guy. Now, you might not have an issue with this. You might feel like this type of thing is meant as a joke more than anything. A shared understanding within a community about the sort of meaning that we draw from certain signs on the internet.
If you think this point is stupid, I can see where you're coming from, but I'll explain why I think it's good. If you think that it's a stupid point, the chances are is that you're part of my audience who already can understand what I believe. You know, maybe you hold similar beliefs. So when you see a guy using the keyword incel in like 6 different videos of his, you already think that it's pretty cringy and you don't need to like hear why. But I think it's important that I should sort of explain myself on certain things because A, it allows a new audience to get where I'm coming from and not just like pander to my main audience. B, it also can allow for people to disagree with me to actually like hear what I'm saying rather than just viewing me as an op without like really getting why. So sometimes kind of explaining why you think a certain thing is bad or good, even if you don't have to because your community gets it, can be good for outsiders and for people that don't get it. But yeah, I thought that was actually a pretty solid point. Alright, time to shit on this guy because, bro, he said some shit I could not stand. So after he showed the clip of himself lifting in the gym to like own me basically, which I think honestly that was an own, he then in post-editing decided to make like a correction to say that, yeah, if somebody calls you fat, the correct response is not to show that you go to the gym.
Hey, just wanted to add a note from the editing booth. I want to be clear in saying that the correct response to someone calling you fat is not to show clips of yourself working out. That kind of sets the tone of the response as you saying, you know, I'm working on it, okay? When you don't owe anyone that sort of response, least of all fatphobic assholes on the internet. I only showed this clip here as an example of one type of assumption someone might make about you because of your weight that does have more serious implications for people who are fat and are constantly dealing with fat phobia. Just wanted to clarify that. So yeah, back to the video now.
This to me felt especially weird because he had basically just destroyed me with that clip, but then he sort of backtracks by saying that if you are fat on the internet and then somebody calls you fat as an insult, don't respond to them by showing that you work out. But now I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, so then if you don't want a person who's fat to epically own somebody by showing a video of them doing cardio or working out, would you rather them respond by sending a video of them eating a cake? Like, I don't get it. Like, I think he just doesn't think you should respond at all, which is, I guess, fair, because some people are just trolls. But in what sense do you lose in that interaction? Like, if you get called fat and lazy online, how does posting a video of you at the gym make yourself look bad? Like, it only does good for you. But yeah, I don't know why he added that in. It just seemed a little unnecessary. The second thing is he spends a minute calling me a LEAFY clone.
A LEAFY clone. Now, if you know who LEAFY is, you will have already picked up on what I meant here. But if you don't, I'll just play a clip of LEAFY now.
I mean, first off, you got the streamer that's just sitting there saying, stop, 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 stop. Don't call me fat. My eyes are up here, honey. Oh my god, you want to call me fat? Donate below and call me fat. I even saw this one bitch. Her fucking title of her stream was Don't Donate Insults. Are you serious?
Looks and sounds familiar, right? They appear to be playing the same video game. He's even doing the same little knife flip thing. It's incredible. I get it if he enjoys this game, but like there are definitely some steps he could take here to mitigate the LEAFY clone allegations.
This isn't a major point in the video, but I just found it funny the fact that we were playing CSGO and both clicking mouse 1 to use the melee on the knife makes it so that like we're the same person. I make content in the same format as LEAFY, as in I speak over gameplay rather than a face cam, and I guess me and LEAFY both criticize things, but LEAFY got banned off YouTube permanently 2 years ago, and I make videos on different topics than he did, so I'm what you would call a gameplay commentary channel. I wouldn't really call myself a LEAFY clone. Anyways, that was a small thing, but it was just like incorrect. Like if we're gonna use your own logic against you, then I could call you like, I don't know, who's somebody who sits in their room with their face cam and talks about fat phobia. So the next point, and I would say this is one of the most important points in the video that really made me mad, and I think was just like wrong in so many ways, was that this guy tried to insinuate that my videos contribute to hate crimes. So this is a crazy fucking claim, okay? To say that a YouTuber either directly or indirectly contributes to actual hate, violent crimes, right? Like people, like shootings, right? And stabbings and murders and all that, right? Like to insinuate that somebody is at all tied to that is a huge claim. So here I have to assume that he's gonna have like a mountain of evidence to prove this. So he tries to prove this by saying in my video, Psycho TikTok Mom accidentally gets exposed that I'm an idiot for reacting to a Libs of TikTok Twitter post.
Where he watches a clip posted by the Libs of TikTok Twitter account of a mom supposedly being exposed by her son for convincing him to be gay.
Am gay or lesbian or any of that, she doesn't care. All she cares about is that I'm a part of it. And if I'm not a part of it, she'll try to convince me to join it. Cause
What? Are you saying right now?
Nah, let him finish. Let him finish because he almost just exposed you, bro. Bro literally said if I'm not a part of the LGBT community, my mom would try to convince me to join it. Nah, bro, that is not right.
But later on in that video, Acheeto plays the full clip in context and acknowledges that the mom was not doing that she had not been exposed, and that the kid had misspoke.
So before we get to him accusing me of indirectly adding to hate crime statistics, he thinks that I lied about what happened in that clip because I said in the title that TikTok Mom gets exposed. Originally in the clip, it looked like the son was confessing on TikTok Live that if he wasn't a member of the LGBT community, that his mom would try to convince him to join the community. Later on in the clip, it turns out the kid didn't know what the word convinced means, and the mom was saying, no, I wouldn't convince you to join. But I never changed the title because believe it or not, the video is not Psycho TikTok Mom gets exposed for trying to convert son to be gay. The title is just TikTok Mom gets exposed, and I still think she got exposed as being a bad parent because later on in the clip, the kid goes on to say, I am pansexual/gay. You know, this is an 8-year-old, by the way. I feel like 8-year-olds shouldn't be on TikTok Live talking about their pansexual attraction. Just my opinion. Then the kid also reads a message in chat that he didn't like and was like, shut up, bitch. And then the mom like laughs. So I'm just basically seeing a mom who's streaming on TikTok Live talking about pansexuality with her 8-year-old son, and then her daughter with bright green dyed hair, and then the son is cussing up a storm on stream, and I'm just like, man, like, okay, you're a mom, but you're not a good one, bro. You're getting exposed on your own TikTok Live as being a bad mom. So I don't know. He tries to say that whatever.
Finally gets exposed. Dishonestly framing the content in this way is playing into the whole gay agenda LGBTQ groomer panic, one that is stoked by demonic accounts like Libs of TikTok and then echoed by useful idiots like Acheeto, and has led to literal hate crimes. Just yesterday, another bomb threat was called into the Boston Children's Hospital, all over a false story not unlike this one being spread by that media pipeline.
So he like very quickly goes from Acheeto was apparently dishonest for framing a video a certain way to a bomb threat was called into a fucking children's hospital and he's an idiot for not being more careful with what he talks about because then he could make a video that's gonna make somebody threaten a hospital. Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? No, I don't care if you call me an incel or a fat phobe or a cyberbully or anything like that. That means nothing to me. But for you to basically say that I am a gateway for terrorist threats is kind of where I'm gonna draw the line. Noah, none of my audience are terrorists. Nobody who watches my videos is influenced by terrorist ideologies. And if you do hold terrorist ideologies where you're gonna threaten to hurt people in real life, unsubscribe and leave. You are not welcome here.
Playing into the whole gay agenda LGBTQ groomer panic, one that is stoked by demonic accounts like Libs of TikTok and then echoed by useful idiots like Acheeto.
He's saying that by making a video reacting to a TikTok that I am ramping up the amount of anti-gay panic in the country. I don't know what exactly you think I said, but nobody's gonna watch that video of me talking over surf gameplay where I'm criticizing one shitty mother on TikTok and then think like, wow, yeah, gay people, big problem in this country, gotta get rid of them.
All over a false story not unlike this one being spread by that media pipeline.
So I don't know what he's talking about, what story he's talking about which led to this threat being called in, but I doubt the quote-unquote story was a clip of a TikTok Live. So associating me with like violent crime I think is a low blow and inaccurate, by the way. Moving on, another criticism that I made about him in my original video was that he had just randomly decided in the middle of his Incel Street interview video to say that there was a person named Kevin Samuels and he's late but not so great. It basically had nothing to do with the video and felt incredibly uncalled for because this man Kevin Samuels had died in May of this year. I originally had said that he died last year, which isn't even true, bro. He died this year. He died a couple months ago. And basically I just found it hypocritical and immoral of him to be like shitting on this guy after he died like earlier this year of a heart attack, but still try to take the moral high ground in videos where he will criticize fat phobia. Now I want to go over his response because it's not good.
Is one of the things that seemed to bother Acheeto the most about my video. It was my comment about Kevin Samuels, where I called him the late not so great Kevin Samuels. The late not so great Kevin Samuels.
What? Bro, this guy died last year and you're like shitting on him? Are we just gonna skip over that, bro? This guy died of a heart attack and you're like shitting on his takes post-mortem? What? That's so, like, low. Like, by the way, this is a guy who's gonna complain about fat-phobic comedy being hurtful, but at the same time has no issue just shitting on a guy who died of a heart attack, like, a year ago. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, everybody who thinks this guy has such a good moral compass because he's gonna call fat-phobic comedy hurtful and violent or whatever, he's just gonna go and do this and nobody bats an eye? Okay.
So, Acheeto here says that criticizing Kevin Samuels' takes post-mortem is low of me to do. And at first, I wanted to ask why.
Well, to answer your question, why I think it's low to shit on his takes post-mortem is because A, it is completely and utterly one-sided. I don't think he's going to be able to counter-argue with you if he's dead. I'm not saying he would if he was alive, but there's a 0% chance that he can now. B, I believe in the concept of letting somebody rest. Like, if a rapper dropped a song and then died the next day, it would feel weird to see a lot of people being like, dude, this song sucks, dude, this guy can't make music. Because while these are opinions that you are allowed to have, the fact that a real human being lost their life, I believe, takes precedence over the fact that you dislike their song. In the same way that this guy's family is grieving and he's just like literally dead, I feel like the fact that you disagree with some of his takes about like women and relationships is unimportant at this point.
You know, like, just because someone dies, does that mean we're not allowed to criticize their actions in life? Is it by virtue of the recency of his death that this has upset him? He mentions that Kevin Samuels died just last year. If that's too soon, then when am I able to make this comment?
So I think you can definitely criticize people's actions in their life, especially if their actions are horrid. Like if somebody dies who, I don't know, like killed people, there is no respect to be had for them after they die, right? Like people say, rip bozo, I'm smoking the pack, like it happens. But what did Kevin Samuels do that you think is so bad that you need to shit on him even after he died? Because all I'm hearing from you is that you think he is a misogynist. He didn't go out and shoot a bunch of people, so this whole actions can be criticized thing doesn't really fit. From what I know about this guy, he just talked. And to answer your question of how long do I have to wait until I get to insult somebody who died, which is a weird question, well, I don't have an exact date for you, but I would say, like, I don't know, in the same year, let alone 5 months after this guy dies of a heart attack, I would probably say you don't need to shit on him.
But then I thought about it and realized that, well, based on the content that Acheeto probably is surrounded with, which is without a doubt closer to the manosphere than I am, Acheeto might just have no idea why that comment is, in my opinion, justified. And he's someone who might actually benefit from hearing an explanation. So let's do that. Kevin Samuels sucked not because he had a heart attack, but because he was a misogynist, a grifter who built a massive platform by exploiting the embarrassment and degradation of women, specifically black women. He parroted conservative talking points and misogynoir to a million dudes online, who went on to spread this message across the web and world. A message that focused primarily on humbling women and holding women accountable, which when done on the internet via content and to women you do not know is really just code for putting women down. We've been over this. It's the same thing we saw Acheeto do in his reaction.
She needs to be humbled. What? Like, what?
It's the same thing we've seen Sneeko doing in prior videos.
Okay, so I was right. This guy talked on the internet and like criticized women. So therefore, oh man, that guy had no value while he was alive. So his death doesn't matter. Like, what are you trying to say? I also find it really weird how after he describes the things that Kevin Samuels says, like women need to be humbled, he then finds a clip of me saying that a woman needs to be humbled stumbled, which sort of implicit in the way you framed that is that if I died, like, that would be a W for you, which I guess in your point of view makes sense because you believe that I contribute to domestic terrorism, that I am a misogynist, I'm a fat phobe, and I'm a LEAFY clone. Now, even though I know as, you know, being me, that none of those are true, except the fat phobic one, like, I guess I am fat phobic technically, but whatever. Even if all of those were true, bro, I don't think I deserve to die. And I know that it's gonna seem like I'm playing the victim card here, but I'm just interpreting the video as he made it. Listen, I don't think it's Noah Samson's job to care if I die. Like, I don't think he should, because he doesn't know me, right? I just think it's ironic because he's also sponsored by, like, BetterHelp, which is like a therapy thing, so if I killed myself because of this video, I just think it would be so ironic. Okay, finally, the last awful point that this guy makes is that because I reacted to the It's Complicated channel, aka that street interview channel, that my audience is impressionable to misogynistic ideas.
So here Acheeto disputes my claim that this channel wants women to be seen and understood as liars. He says that there is a maximum of 3 people that interpret this content in the way that I am describing. However, as I showed in my video, this is not the case. The following were just a few comments from the street interview comment section. Never underestimate a woman's ability to avoid accountability at all costs. I had an argument with my 8-year-old niece yesterday. Okay. I truly believe the thought processes and childish antics between my niece and these women are no different. The level of egos with these below average women is astonishing. These statements, which all generalize women as being childish, irresponsible, or egotistical, have all been favorited by the It's Complicated account owner.
Okay, so you want to know what woman they're talking about? The woman in the videos. The people commenting on the video, believe it or not, are talking about the video. They're not talking about the species of women that exist in the entire world. They're talking about the handful of delusional women that spew crap in these types of videos.
Additionally, while Acheeto's comment section isn't quite as bad as the street interview comment section, there are definitely still some iffy comments. These women are a 12 out of 10 on the stupidity scale.
Guys, calling somebody stupid is misogynistic, by the way.
I hate that some women act like this. It's embarrassing. They just take one insignificant aspect about themselves and try to make it praiseworthy because they have nothing to bring to the table.
Hey, retard, you realize a woman commented that, by the way.
What in the narcissist is going on here? Seriously, the selfishness and overall negative personality qualities is 12 out of 10.
Did you guys know that calling somebody selfish and narcissistic is misogynistic? Now, dude, what is this argument? Anyways, I think I'm done here. I'll go back to bombing hospitals, as I frequently do.